While it may seem like many of us may be detached, maybe attached, detached would be a good thing, but attached to our cell phone these days, we're not always smart about security on our mobile devices.
Yeah, joining us now with some easy tips on how to lock down our personal information is Professor of Digital Marketing at the University of Ottawa, Jonathan Simon. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, everyone's really worried about security for good reason. So walk us through some of the ways that we can utilize security features that are already on our phones.
Yeah, so it's basically the same for both iOS and Android. But if you look at any smartphone, the number one thing you want to do is enable two-factor authentication. This is going to ensure that a hacker or somebody that gets your phone, won't be able to just figure out your password right away. They're going to need another code that's sent to another device, and so you need that two-factor authentication on. Most of them already have this already on, but you might want to check your phone to make sure it's on. The second thing I would suggest is just make sure you create a strong password to unlock your phone, or even better, use Face or Touch ID. This is going to enable, if you lose your phone or somebody gets a hold of your phone, it's much harder to break into your phone if they don't have your face or your fingerprint right there to get on. Another thing you need to be wary of is the apps that you download. A lot of these apps have location settings automatically turned on, or it'll ask you when you upload your app, should you have locations on. It's always important to ask the question, do I need locations on in this app? If you're using things like a map app, of course you need location. But if it's something like pictures or other things, just be wary about the different options you have to have it location on only when you're using the app, or maybe turning it off when you're using it all the time.
Because many people may say, like, well, if you turn your location on, and is it tracking you?
Yeah, and that's a valid point. I think that these manufacturers, they are getting a ton of data from us. They claim that this data is just going into a big database. They're not using our IDs to track where we are, but just to be on the safe side. And for apps in general, we don't know who all these developers might be and what they're using the information for. It's just better to be on the safe side and check your location settings to make sure that, one, you actually need them on in the first place to use the app, and two, if you do, just turn them on whenever you're using them.
Should we all be allowing the apps to have access to all of our photos? A lot of times they ask for that, right?
Yeah, and so that's another question. It makes sense if it's a photo app like Instagram or Facebook, where you're going to upload your photos. But if you download some app and it asks for permissions for your photos, and there's no way you're going to upload your photos or use your photos, you might want to turn that functionality off, because who knows who's getting those pictures and what you're saving on your phone. So for sure, you should think twice about it.
What about your camera, right? So sometimes you download the app and it's like, do you want to push notifications? Can we have access to your camera? And you mentioned Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, but we also do it for things like banking, right? And shopping, because they have now the face kind of scan. Is there a way to protect ourselves?
Yeah, I think we fall into this trap of turning on everything because we find that it's going to be easier. Is it that much harder to type in your password on your banking app like you normally do, or do you really need those extra 5 seconds for that face recognition? I think I would err on the side of caution and maybe turn that functionality off. If you do really feel like you need the camera on to just quickly get to your account, maybe just make sure that camera only turns on when you open that app and not at random times.
All right, overall, what are some of the potential risks, though, if you fail to protect sensitive data?
Yeah, there's always the risk that a third-party app that you've got loaded on your phone takes sensitive data off your phone, whether that's your pictures, your messages that are on your phone, or other data that you just don't want people to see. So there's a risk there. I think for the most cases, the platforms of iOS and on Android are fairly secure, but there's always a risk that hackers or other nefarious types of people get on your device through applications that you download and then steal your information that could be used to, take control of some of your bank accounts, or even impersonate you because they have certain information. So you just want to be really careful about what you're sharing on your phone.
You make me want to take everything off of the phone now.
Yeah, really.
All right, let's bring in the gang. Ben, I know you have a question.
It's freaky. I upgraded recently to a new iPhone because I had a 6 forever, and the guy at the Verizon store is like, "Oh, you know, I'll sync them up, but I'll get all your data and all your information and pictures onto my computer, and then I'll transfer it onto the new phone."
Oh.
And I was like, "Okay, that sounds good." And I went into my car to wait. I'm like, "Whoa, wait a second, what is he doing?" And I ran in. Is this? And I went in. I'm like, "What are you doing? Like, you can't do that." He's like, "No, we erase it every time." Is that true? Is that because other people are doing this? Are they as stupid as I am?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're trusting people. I think we hope they're doing it. I would be wary of watching those, but then also, you know, a lot of our pictures go automatically into iCloud, and it's saved in the cloud somewhere for backup purposes. And in some cases, you just want to make sure what you have saved there. We have numerous stories that come out of famous celebrities or other people. They get their iPhone, their iCloud accounts hacked because they don't have things like two-factor authentication enabled, and whatever pictures you have there are, you know, able to be shared by hackers and other people. So you just want to make sure, you know, what you're saving your phone, but also what is saved in the cloud, and make sure you protect it.
So that two-factor authentication, so does that mean, okay, so I put in my password and then it sends me a text message to something else and I have to verify? Boy, that seems a little cumbersome every time you want to get into your phone.
Yeah, I mean, it adds an extra couple of layers, but, you know, it's the price you pay for protection. It's not to let me just clarify that the two-factor authentication isn't related to putting your password in your phone.
Okay.
It's really just to protect the account on your phone, so your Apple account or your Google account, to make sure people aren't in there, you know, downloading apps, putting apps on your phone, or looking at any things in the settings or things like that.
Got it.
Very interesting. And, you know, it's so funny because we all get so annoyed. We're like, oh, God, I got to do this two-step authentication. I got to send me a text message. And it's like, it's all to make us safer and better and protected. Because if we didn't have it, then people could steal our bank account.
Yeah.
Jonathan Simon, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much.